Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out the alpha version of a game called Fort Meow by developer Rise Davies. This is a little bit of a difficult one to classify. I would say it's somewhat close to something like a reverse Angry Birds, if that makes sense, where we're trying to fortify the position of a little girl who happens to be trying to read the journal of her late grandfather as she is bombarded by cats who want to sleep on her lap. It's a kind of a hilarious premise, but the execution of it is actually really, really well done, and this game in general is just kind of fantastically put together, and I'm really surprised that I haven't heard anyone talking about it, and well, I aim to change that as of today if possible. So, why don't we look at the options, and then we'll jump into a new game, and we'll start it from the beginning, and I'll see if I can explain things as they go. Basic resolution stuff, full screen window, nothing too crazy there. Audio options, we've got some sliders for sound and music, standard stuff. Let's start a new game and see what happens. So we've got a little bit of setup here. Another winter vacation at Grandma's house. It's been the same routine every year since you can remember. This year was different, however, with the passing of your grandpa during the summer. The thought of spending time in the house alone with Grandma scared you. She had developed an unhealthy obsession with keeping cats. Cats as far as the eye could see. It was like the neighborhood strays had caught word that there was free food and warmth to be had, and all jumped at the chance. Arriving at the house, dropped off in haste by your mother as she rushed to catch her flight, you notice that your grandma is nowhere to be found. Tired from a long car trip, you make your way up to the attic. The attic is where you spent most of your vacations reading various old books that your grandparents had in storage. It's a place where you can lose yourself to imagination, a place away from the busy world, a place to relax and enjoy your time away. As you make your way upstairs, you notice several shining bright eyes staring at you from the darkness. A faint hint of cat food hits your nostrils as you hurry to open the latch. Arriving in the attic, you place down your bags and start looking through the dusty pile of books near the giant window that illuminated the room. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a weird-looking book. It has a cover not like the rest of them and is bound with a piece of red string. As you untie the string, you read the front cover. Your eyes grow wider as you realize it's the writings of your late grandpa. Excited to learn the secrets of the pages inside, you take a seat and open the first page. So here we are, a little girl in an attic, and there's flying cats everywhere. That's kind of how it's gonna go. So there's a little comic strip showing us our reactions to this situation. She's obviously very frustrated. These adorable cats keep wanting to sleep in my lap. I'm just trying to read. Maybe if I assemble some sort of a device or pillow fort of sorts that we can use to keep them away, we'll be alright and be able to read from then. So, that is what we have been tasked with. We're going to select items from this grouping down below and try and arrange them however we like. So we have some options here. We've got a pillow, we've got a chair, we've got a broom, and we've got a mattress. All of these have different costs and different hit points. And essentially the hit points just are how many times a cat can smack into them before they break down and stop existing. I guess we'll start with a pretty good foundation of a couple of chairs, if we have enough ability to do so, and then we'll put a mattress across the top, and I think that should just about do it. So yeah, we're actually out of time. Each one of these costs a certain amount of time, and that's sort of our currency that we can use to build a bigger and bigger pile as we go. And there will be obviously a lot more items that we can add, and we'll be looking through the house to find more things to bring upstairs to try and make a new fort out of. And when we're ready to go, we can click defend over here on the right and start the cat wave and see how our fort holds up. So if you haven't noticed already, I obviously love the premise, but also the art design in this. The drawing is really, really lovely, the illustration, I mean, as well as the music is like top-notch. So we've got a victory already. We've got plus 5 minutes, a new chapter, and a new cat type have been unlocked from this. So if we click ahead, it actually shows us a scrapbook of each of the types of cats that we'll be fending off, I suppose. And we actually unlock a little bit of a story for each time that we make a bit of a, large chunk of progress. So there's actually an ongoing story that's going to happen. I would read all of these pages, and in fact, I recommend that you do that, because you can actually go download this alpha version yourself and go through it, but, it's just going to take up some time. It's a lovely story, though. I really enjoy what I've read of it so far. I've only gotten, I think, maybe 4 chapters in, so, it's taken me about 20 minutes or so. So I'm going to need more stuff, but I'll never be able to lift anything up these stairs because it's too heavy. So we've got a Move It bot, which has a battery, which needs to be charged, and that's essentially how we're getting sort of another time currency as it pertains to the difficulty to lift things from other parts of the house. So we now have the ability to explore, so I'm going to click that button, and we can pan up and down with right mouse and enter rooms with left click. So let's do some panning here. Only one room seems to be accessible at the moment. I'm not sure if this is just from the alpha or if this is just like an unlocking mechanism, but I actually played pretty far in, and well, like I said, I played about 4 chapters, and I did not seem to get access to any of the other doors, so I'm thinking maybe it's just for the time being. So let's go down and open up this door, and we have a few items that we can grab with our little robot here. So we have options such as a beanbag chair, a coffee table, which actually has very high hit points, and this one's sort of a very important defensive one to have along with us. We've got a lamp, which heals items in range after each attack, and we've got a TV, which gains 20% battery charge when destroyed. And I think that's all we can pick up at the moment. I'm going to go with the high HP coffee table, even though it has a pretty high time cost as well. I might not get to use it very much, but I still like it. The beanbag chair is actually very specifically designed to fend off a specific type of cat, so this should be enough for now. Let's see how it goes. Perfect. And how much time do I have? I have 70 seconds, 70 units of time here, so that's going to give me a chance to place at least one of these coffee tables. And, well, a coffee table and a mattress I think are going to be enough here. And let's see if this is what we need. And, oh, I even have enough time to put a couple of brooms in here. So when you're placing stuff, you can actually just click once, and then if you use right click actually puts it back in. We want to click it, and then hold, and then we can rotate left and right to be able to get a good angle on things, which is actually surprisingly more important than you might think. In this case, we're going to use the brooms to kind of sit on top of the mattress and act as like another barrier, because at the beginning of the game, there's a little spoiler, but like all the cats pretty much come from the top. It's unfortunate that she doesn't seem to realize there's like a bunch of objects right in the attic we could actually be using for this fort, but maybe that's for later on. We'll realize that and start grabbing the sofa and the coffee table from here, as well as maybe the rocking horse and music stand and, well, who knows what else. So let's start the defense, and oh, I didn't realize that if you mouse over defend, it shows you what type of cat and how many coming from which side. So we've got 3 normal cats, which are going to roll in like cannonballs from the ceiling, or bounce in through the sides rather, and land in a vertical orientation above our character. So boing, 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 and boing. Alright, our fortifications held up very, very well. And we have no worries whatsoever. We gained plus 5 minutes, and we're going to use that time, hopefully, effectively. So we've actually got a lot of stuff left over from the prior attack. We have enough to actually rebuild on top. Oh, I've run out of mattresses. Okay, so even though I have ample time, I still only have a certain amount that I'm allocated to use each time as well. We'll replace these brooms, though, because these are actually doing some good work for us. Unless we get a fat cat. Fat cats can be a bit of a problem. Let's see, we've got 4 of the same types of cats now, and we only have 5 left for that. I don't know if a pillow would really be better used, so let's just leave it the way it is, and we'll start the next round again. Alright, so far so good. All operating according to plan. Yeah, alright, well, it didn't go fantastically, and we've got a lot of weak furniture now going forward, but we did at least unlock a new chapter. And a little bit more story to read up on. And what does our little girl have to say? I can see some more cats getting ready to pounce. Okay, fair enough. And our battery is now 60% charged, so if we take a look around the house, I think that's actually still not going to be enough to be able to add another fortification, but just to see here, if these all have like battery recharger increments to them or what, let's see. Yeah, okay, that's going to cost 100% to pick up any of those. So I actually can't really make any more use of my battery for the moment. That's okay, though. So back upstairs we go. Oh, excuse me. There we go. And let's pick up the book again and see what we can do to fortify even further. We've got a lot of items that are about to fail. What do we have today for cats? 5 on one side, 4 on the other. I'm a little worried here because I might use all of my items, and since all of them are on the verge of breaking, it might not even matter very much. There seems to be some kind of a a thing that happens when you lose enough times. Like, you seem like you get more time back, and then maybe you're able to just replace all of your items. So, I mean, there doesn't seem to be just like a straight-up fail state to this if you were worried. I think pretty much however things go, it seems well-balanced enough that you could still make it out, even if you end up in a very bad spot. And we've got enough time left to put a bunch of pillows on top, too. Well, we've got pretty much everything in play now that is allowed to be had, so why don't we just start this barrage again. The early game is fairly easy. I'm not sure if it gets particularly difficult or anything as you get further in, but even if it doesn't, I really like the appeal of this game, and I like the way that it's framed. The premise is fun, it's kind of silly, it's kind of heartwarming too in a way, because there's actually some stuff going on here beyond just like, oh, this makes no sense, and it's cats flying through the air. I mean, yeah, it is that, but it actually has some kind of a core value going on beneath that surface as well. And we still don't quite have a fully charged battery. Do we have a new type of cat yet? No, it seems like we're just increasing in numbers. Well, I kind of spoiled it already, but when we get to the next world, or the next chapter rather, there's going to be a fat cat that can barrage right through multiple things at once. So if you put a beanbag chair there, it'll kind of deflect him, and that works pretty nicely for keeping things copacetic. But I think that's where I'm going to wrap up the video on Fort Meow. Really, really cool game. I definitely recommend that you go check it out. And when you go to exit the game, it actually asks you for feedback that goes directly to the developer, so I encourage you guys to do that, as well as leave some feedback here on the video if you don't mind. I'd love to know what your opinion is of this. What kind of appeal do you think this has? Is this something that you would buy for yourself? Do you know somebody that might be interested in this? Do you like a specific element of it? Is there something you would do to change or improve it? You know, just whatever happens to be running through your mind as you're watching the video. I definitely appreciate the feedback and to continue the dialogue about games like this, because I'm surprised to find that it doesn't seem like a lot of people are talking about it, and I want to, you know, get the word out. So if you want to tell somebody about it, that would be sweet too. So that'll do it for another day, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like on it, because that helps me spread the word as well. And of course, if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel, because there's a new episode of Indie Impressions that goes up every single day without fail. So I look forward to bringing you another one tomorrow. And of course, if you haven't already, go right into the description, go grab a copy of the Meowfa, I think is how I'm saying that, the alpha version of Fort Meow, and go give it a try. Let me know what you think. So thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow.